Do you think we're going to see other investigations opened up here into celebrity deaths? I mean, there has been, of course, accusations for years that he could have been involved with the murder of Tupac, ordering the hit on him. But I would almost say more recently, the death of Kim Porter, his former girlfriend, mother of some of his kids, dying of pneumonia at a very young age, and also being in pretty good health, and she wanted to get out of that relationship. We're just learning now that there's a book coming out based on her diaries, which reveals allegedly abuse, weird sexual behavior, all sorts of things. I mean, really, very much the same things that we've been hearing about for all this time. But it just knowing everything in context now, it seems all too convenient that her leaving his life and being able to talk about some of those things would have been something at the time that he certainly would not want to have happen. Are we going to be looking at, possibly seeing was that the death what they said it was?
Well, I think they're looking already closely at that, that there is this new book out, and I believe it's very telling. I know for a fact there are photographic evidence of the fact she was abused, and I don't think anybody's saying, "Oh, you're kidding me."
Yeah.
I think it's very expected that probably the intimate relationships he had with women and men were quite abusive. And so it's not really a revelation, but it is proof positive how far back this goes. And they need to definitely take a closer look at the autopsy, if one was even conducted, which I don't know the answer
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
But I do remember reading that she died of supposed natural causes with some sort of complications with pneumonia.
Yeah. Yeah. What about his kids? We saw them coming in and out of the courthouse the other day. There, of course, has been allegations against them. Some, just as bad as against his father for sexual abuse and things of that nature. They obviously looking very defiant, walking in, and I gotta understand that this is the bubble they come from. They don't know a world outside of Diddy land. Do you think we're going to see charges come up on them at some point? They are adults, and if they were participating in some of this stuff, I would imagine that there's some level of responsibility there as well.
I think it's very possible they were part of his most closest inner circle. And if they participated in any part of this concerning drug trafficking, concerning the arson, concerning sex trafficking, there's so many predicate offenses here. It just, witness intimidation, the list goes on and on. I think that all of those that have had a hand in this, law enforcement can't turn away and not look at it. So unless they're fully cooperating as a witness, they're going to be charged.
Do they have any sort of recourse here or any sort of argument? I mean, almost like a battered spouse syndrome, but almost like a battered child. Where I mean, look, I mean, if this is what your dad's doing all the time and he's flaunting it, and you're being exposed to it from your very young ages, now you're an adult. Obviously, we have free will; we can make our choices as an adult. But essentially, you've been conditioned, almost brainwashed to think this is how life is and this is how you handle people. Is there any level of forgiveness, if you will, or going light on someone who essentially was brought up in what would have been really truly, if all is true, a very abusive environment?
Well, definitely. I mean, as investigators look at who they want to add to their list of cooperators and to extend deals to, that is one of the biggest considerations that they're going to look at. And believe me, it's not that people get off scot free or that you get total immunity. That is extremely rare. But charges can be reduced to lesser charges. And they're going to look at that, Tony. They're going to say, who is sympathetic?
Mhm.
Who didn't want to be involved? Remember, they have so much. They have conversations between everyone. They have social media. They have everything. They see everything when then they went into that house. So they're going to know the family dynamics and who was deeply involved and who wasn't.
Another thing we were talking earlier about just the silence of other celebrities that were close with him, and I guess that can be read one of two ways. I think it also can be read into when there's nothing being said about this, of nobody sticking up for him either. It's not just hey we were involved, but there's no one of any merit that's going and saying oh this is this is not right. These charges are bogus. Just silence. Neither way. I think that might say something as well.
Well, I think people want to separate themselves as much as they can from Diddy. I'm sure they're burning every picture they ever had taken with him as a celebrity. I mean, this is a man who once had the key to New York City.
Mhm.
I mean, politicians, high profile celebrities, everybody wanted to be around Diddy. People wanted to have their careers kicked off by Diddy. He had so many businesses and so many ways that people could latch onto him and explode in terms of popularity and money and earnings and everything else. So there's a lot of people I think that are trying to distance themselves and silence distances.
It's gonna be fascinating as this continues to unfold. Now that he is behind bars, I'm sure there's going to be new chapters every week, and probably a whole new era of people coming through and telling their story. Now that they don't have to really fear the type of retribution that they might have otherwise had while he was free.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's so much and there's so much legally ahead. I want to know, are they going to waive speedy trial?
Mhm.
I really think they have to because of the volume of evidence.
Yeah.
Just imagine if they don't, we could be looking at a trial around the corner. I mean, that's what he's entitled to.
Hmm.
So this defense team has huge questions to answer and decisions to make. But we're a long way off from really knowing everything.
Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.